You know, there's a reason why a lot of car reviewers say that this is just a car you have to drive, because you can really rev this thing out on the road. I'm sure you've heard the saying, you can drive a slow car fast or a fast car fast, and driving a slow car fast is so much fun in its own way. We have a first gen Miata that you might be able to see in our rear view mirror following us, and I'm going to do a comparison video on the two cars as well. And yes, this car is a massive step up. They both have 4 cylinders. This one is $25,000 more than the one behind us though. But a lot of that money is put into how this car feels, the increased power, and most importantly, this actually nice interior. The interior on the first gen is so old school, but it held up extremely well. Looking at the inside of that car, it's like, you would not expect it to be that old until you actually see the technology in there. Then you know that it's old. Yeah, this thing is loads of fun, especially on back roads. Because this is a manual, I'm gonna put this up there with being just as much fun as the Porsche Cayman that I drove. This is an absolutely awesome car. The only issue is $35,000. Seriously? That's, you can get a used Mustang GT, an S550 GT for that price, or a Miata. That's what makes this very, very hard to accept as like a fantastic car. If this was $25,000, then I would really consider looking at it. There's a little Veloster over there. I would want to do a Veloster N. That would be a lot of fun. And by the way, guys, this is my little studio right here. This is a very, very small car. This Miata weighs around 2,400 pounds and 185 horsepower, if I'm not mistaken. And yeah, it's not fast, but because this car only weighs 2,400 pounds, it feels a lot faster than 185-ish horsepower. But yeah, this Miata is honestly a lot nicer than I expected it to be. Huge increase from my friend has a 1996 Miata. It's manual as well, the one with the pop-up headlights, and the power difference is very noticeable. You know, his looks really good for 1996. This one obviously looks a lot more modern. The interior is a lot more modern. It's got that retractable hardtop as well. That's when you see a Miata with the RF at the end. That stands for retractable hardtop. The F is for something. It's a weird name to it. I can't remember exactly what it is, but that just means it's a retractable hardtop. And that is amazing. I mean, even the C7 Corvette has a hardtop you have to manually take off, but this one will do it for you, which is really cool. Let's try a 40-mile-an-hour second gear downshift. Oh my gosh, this car is a lot of fun. If you're gonna get one of these, please get it in manual. It makes this so much more fun. Because automatic with 180 horsepower, I mean, I don't know if that would be too much fun. But when you're really a part of the car, it makes it a lot better. And the exterior of this car got a lot more mean looking. The headlights are mean. I mean, it still looks like a pretty car, I guess you could describe it that way, but the looks of it are far more aggressive. Don't mind me being in 6th gear at 30 miles an hour. However, the gear ratio on this car, look at that. So when you're at 40 miles an hour, it's like, hey buddy, shift to 6th at 40. That seems like almost uncomfortable. We were just at like 38 miles an hour and it wants me to shift to 6th. That is yeah, quite a strange thing about this car. But you know, it's not a high speed type of car, so that makes sense. All right, we're on some corners now. Let's see what this thing can do. Let's skip ahead to the good part. All right, this is gonna test my manual driving ability. Ready? Let's do it. Everything is flying everywhere in the car. Yeah, this thing handles corners so well. One of the best from all of the cars that I've driven thus far. Guys, we're at 35 miles an hour and it just asked me to shift to 6. That just doesn't seem right. Look at this. You could go to 6 at 30 miles an hour. That's wild. I do really like how the 2022 Miatas kind of give you a guide, like what gear you're supposed to be in. Miatas are some of the best to learn on in terms of manual for sure. I can see why. This thing is so smooth for me, and again, this is like my 3rd day driving manual, so let me know how I'm doing, by the way. Am I good for being on day number 3? Everyone's got to learn somehow, so if you want to roast me in the comments, I mean, go ahead if you want to. All right, let's go ahead and do a pull in this car. Let's start in 2nd gear and see how it accelerates. Ready? Go. Yeah, once you're past 2nd gear, this thing's not gonna throw you back in your seat. It's really just about going into the corners at high speeds, getting that downshifting, and then just going fast in a slow car. It's such a good experience doing so, even though, you know, a lot of people nowadays are just like, oh, my car is faster in a 0 to 60. All right, no one cares. No one cares about that at all. Are you having fun? If you're not having fun, then you're not in the right car. And I will say right now, this thing is a lot of fun to drive.